49ers have multiple weight issues. Debo didn't exactly look like he was in shape. Brunskill might be 270. Does this go back to the strength and conditioning staff? Look, Matt H., I think it's an excellent question. Now let's get into the questions. What I want to say, I feel like the problem this year, you guys could disagree with me. I'm trying to connect some dots. It seemed to me that all these issues, these weight issues, were a 2020 issue. And what happened was, it's unfair to blame the strength and conditioning staff because they weren't working. The players were on their own. The players were their own strength and conditioning staff. There was no OTAs or minicamp. So the players had to do it on their own. And it was just, we saw which players, were diligent and responsible and effective with their personal routines. Like Fred Warner, whatever he did worked. He clearly worked out every day. He had a great training regimen. He came back in the best shape of his life by far. Debo Samuel went down and worked with Trent Williams and Jerick McKinnon. And from what it sounds like, worked too hard, pushed himself too hard, too early in the offseason, broke his foot, never recovered. So I don't think Debo was dogging it. He did look overweight. But you break your foot, now you can't run. Pull your hamstring, now you can't run. I bet you he didn't get very much cardio in 2020 because his foot was broken in June. So working out a little too hard is what I would imagine with Debo. Brunskill might be 270. I mean, when they signed him, he's been working very hard to add weight. He's naturally not that big. But I agree, I think losing leadership in 2020, especially on offense, hurt. Staley got the kind of guys who would call up people all across the country in April, May. What are you doing? What's your weight? I feel like Staley's that kind of guy. Are we on track? I don't think Trent Williams was doing that. Now, it's not he doesn't have to. But usually it's good to have one leader on a team who's rallying everyone even on Zoom. And I don't think the Niners had that this year. So you had a mixed bag of who was ready and who wasn't. I mean, George Kittle was working on his contract all offseason. Was he calling Mike McGlinchey and saying, Mike, you eating? Mike, did you have a burger today? Mike, did you get extra cheese on it? No, we talked about it. You need extra cheese on that burger. Not just, no, we're not going protein style, Mike. Not with the lettuce wrap. No, you want fries as well. Get the fries, Mike. Who did that this year? I think I think it was a failure of leadership from the players to the coaches. I'm not going to blame the strength and conditioning staff. It's not fair. Let's see if this persists after the pandemic. More questions. Hold on. And I'm going to do a Cohn phone tomorrow, so just chill. Till the next episode. As it were. That worked pretty well. Ooh, Kay, I see you, Kay. I'm going to get to you. 49ers first takes. Is Debo losing his mind? His Twitter action has been odd lately. Spend less time tweeting, more time stretching. I don't know. I actually never look at these players' social media accounts because I feel like it would. I don't get these kids anymore, and I would just read too much into them. But the one thing I noticed is, let me look real quick. Debo's picture is him holding like a bottle of wine. Yeah, I just feel like a guy. Look, man, Debo, you're a young man. Let me tell you about wine. It's going to put on the pounds, man. I love wine. But you shouldn't be drinking the wine. You should give the wine to McGlinchey. And you should be drinking nothing but White Claws, all right? Leave the wine alone. It makes me nervous that I see you drinking a glass of red because once you get the taste for red wine, you can't give it up. It's delicious. And you may have just had your first exposure to some seriously great red wine. And if so, you might be dealing with that extra little chunk on your midsection for the rest of your career. I pray that you got to save the red wine for retirement. All right. You are a White Claw guy. So I try not to read too much into social media, but I see you got the leopard print. You got the big chain. You looking real fly. I love your sartorial choices. You're very well dressed and you're holding up a glass of red and the bottle, which I think is a Snoop Dogg bottle. Does Snoop Dogg make red wine? I didn't know that. Anyway, you're very proud of it. And you kind of have this contemplative, maybe somber look. You're looking down into the left, like you got a lot in your mind, and you're somewhere thinking about your woes. And you gotta drink a little red wine to feel better. I feel you, man. But no, White Claw for you. Don't. Good call. If you know what else he's talking about, I don't really know. What's he on these days? Is he okay?